Hi, Brad.
Hey,
How you
Martin, how you
doing?
going?
Where are
Yeah,
you?
good.
What are you up to?
Just doing a bit of client work up in the North Island in New Zealand at the moment.
Are you, because I can see there's bad weather coming in again from Australia. I think it's going to hit South Island, top of South Island, worse
Yeah,
than North Island, I think.
yeah, I think so. And obviously we had that bad weather a few days ago in Nelson, which was really a lot of flooding. Not
Yeah.
seen that much flooding for a while.
Yeah, and I'm trying to catch up with some more councils actually around the emergency management stuff, around common operating pictures, common operating platforms, emergency management response platforms, and things like that. We had that good conversation with Regan at Hastings that little
Oh
while
yeah,
ago.
yeah,
Obviously, we've been working with them since Gabrielle. Um,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. Look, we recorded that, didn't we? So
yeah.
you should pull that video. Let's have a look.
I'll pull it up. I'll pull it up. I'm from F24. Brad's from a strategic partner of ours in New Zealand called Fixinc. As a quick bit of background, so obviously, like you say, Regan is using a version of our software called Fact24 Sim. We're actually a German company, but we acquired a technology in Norway in 2019 that was effectively a COP system that was developed after the tsunami in Asia Pacific, and was kind of born out of an inadequate response from the Norwegian government. So it was basically compiled by a lot of ex-Norwegian army intelligence in Norway, and it gives us kind of a suite of modules that we can build into pretty much anything we like. So we have, as a company, have kind of implemented that kind of a bit of software in Norway and other councils and government agencies around the European space. The way we're looking at it right now is it's Fact24, which is what Regan's using, with APIs to exchange data with other agencies' tools. So FENS, police, whatever, so that you're then able to log into one tool and get the minimum amount of information as a first version that you need to be able to ascertain a situational awareness in one place.
What we saw was the structure it provided around the task cards for each function and the ability to structure the information the team was working with. The biggest challenge we had for each team member was, what is it they're supposed to be doing? So that was primarily the thing that Almeen and I saw that was really appealing. The activation tools are also very helpful to notify a team en masse and capture who's responding and that sort of stuff. That's really good. So those were the original aspects that appealed, but since we've been using it, the configurability of the reports, the approval cycle for the reports, the incident boards and the configuration that's possible within those has meant the team operation goes from an amateur fly-by-night, we're making documents and storing them in folders and everyone's doing their own thing, presenting the opportunity for every new shift to come in and redesign the process, to a platform that guides, this is the way it is, you do it this way, and sets a more solid base for all those people that, like you say, they don't do this on a day-to-day basis. We're not a military unit. We don't get drilled to the nth degree, so we actually know what the job is, so we can go away and just use documents and things like that and expect them to be consistent. So we need the structure and the platform to guide the activity. So that has been the beneficial additional learning that we've had. And just for the record, we do 3 IMT exercises a year. We have done for the last 4 years, as well as a couple of BCP ones. So we're not just fly by night, but this was the first one. Obviously, we had Fact24 configured and used the full emergency management office building because of that change in context that the transformation strategy presents.
To be honest, Almeen, Regan, and probably other members of his team have configured our tool to fit the SIMS framework. So that it's off the shelf, but it's configurable, if that makes sense.
But yeah, it took us a week and a half to build the baseline function cards with role tasks, the baseline reports for status report, sit rep. Meeting minutes are already there, you just configure the report. The incident boards were the big step forward for us. So I modeled the incident boards on what we created during Cyclone Gabrielle, and augmented with with what we're doing with community hubs. So out of the box, if we create an incident now, there's a list that comes up that lists all our critical infrastructure, and we can start putting our knowledge about what that status is into that board. There's one that comes up that lists all the community hubs, and we can start going through and saying which ones are active, which ones are, what do they need, and start capturing the information into there as a single source of truth.
So it's a subscription for the account. You can log in as many times as you like. You do have a certain number of users enabled in that account. Users, obviously people that can log in with a username and password and use the system. So yeah, Regan's basically bought I can't remember, is it 3 years you've signed up for? I can't remember. So yeah, a 3-year subscription basically.
So I've just shared my screen. This is the operation exercise Tanefa that we did earlier. That was the first time we sort of used, just to give you an impression of what is in fact. The landing page for where the incident team works is made up of this page, 3 key components: the incident details, which is overarching information, then task cards, and in the task cards there are different lists of things that need to be doing. So those are prompts of what we need to complete for each role. So across here, there's a task card that we've created just basically for each SIMS function. Then on the right, you get a list of everything that's happened. So this is anything that is transacted through the system during the event. So it's the timeline and the history. On top of that, there were a area for reports. So we created a few reports. Some of them you can see were sent for approval and some of them have been approved. But again, this is where, as Martin said, it's out of the box solution, but it's just been configured. So which forms fields appear here and the content of them we can configure to match the SIMS type reports. And then the other one that was really useful we found is incident boards. So we can go like infrastructure status. We're sort of using it to go, well, out of the box, we've put into the configuration some base level things that we need to check. So like water supply reticulation, curbside collection, what's happening. And it's real simple. We create a field that's a status. There's a timestamp, and then this is the information that was collected. So the team immediately, start populating this. And if we had, in this case, some more detailed things, they add another line to say in a particular area. So from our district point of view, it immediately gives us an overview, okay, what's happening with our infrastructure, but then the community related stuff's the same. So what kind of community, how are they affected? But each person that has access to FACT24 can go and see the board themselves. And that's what, this was the step change for us in using the EMO, was on the big monitors around the floor, we could put each of these incident boards. So if you walked into the room and you started having a look, we were sort of sorting them by the status. You can see which ones are open and what's going on. So it started to fill out that picture of understanding much faster. Yeah, and then there is a file archive. So, all that reference material like you're talking about, like function on a page and our resilience plans, the hub information we've collected, and all the other bits we've started to load in as just file reference. So the intention is to avoid people needing to go out of FACT24 into a different user interface like Teams or our content management system even, to get the information they need as part of the event. Up here, I can switch incident. So any of the previous incidents or exercises we've run remain as a workspace. So if I go back to, this is a test one.
You can actually close them when they're done, but you can go and find them on the closed area as well, just to let you know. Excellent. All right, good. Yep. Speak to you again, and thanks a lot.